Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Our goal is to make sure that our players are prepared to play, prepared for the moment.
As a receiver, you want to catch the ball every time it's thrown to you. And the trust that my teammates have in me and my coaches, and that means a lot.
It brings the best out of me, I feel like, and it brings the best out of everybody in the QB room. Coaches want a competitor at the highest of levels, and that starts here in practice.
We're not really diving too much into like, oh, we're in a competition. We're kind of just going out and playing every day. I feel like I've been through it before. Just understanding you have to go in every practice, give it your best, compete.
The last time Michigan State's football team found itself in the midst of a quarterback competition going into the brand new year was in 2021 when Peyton Thorne beat out Anthony Russo for the job. Since then, Thorne has transferred to Auburn, leaving the spot wide open for the season opener against Central Michigan on September 1st. And out of the three guys who are in the running, it is Noah Kim who has the most experience. The fourth-year junior was the backup all last season to Thorne, playing in 4 games while also tossing 3 touchdowns. And as our Haley Schoengart learned, he is in the running for the job because he made sure to stay true to himself.
Kim is a redshirt sophomore from Centerville, Virginia. Here's his first throw of this game. To the end zone, caught! Trey Mosley, touchdown, Michigan State.
The big thing everyone has been talking about the past few months is the quarterback battle, but getting your name in that battle has taken some time. Why stay over the past couple of years?
I think that's just the confidence I have in myself and just the belief in what I have to offer. I just talking with a couple sports psychiatrists that we have here, and just the main thing was not focusing on the QB competition that everyone else is labeling it, just focusing on what I can do to get better every single day and what I can offer to the team every day, and just focusing on that.
Even a couple years ago when Peyton Thorne was still here, why not transfer? I feel like the transfer portal has really ramped up over the last couple of years. What is it that really kept you at Michigan State?
One, I love being here, and I love the team. I want to play with these guys, and that was my goal at the end of the day, was just play for these guys, because I'm a servant to them, basically, is how I look at it. But another thing about that is, again, it's the confidence that I have in myself. I didn't want to jump ship when times got tough, because I've been through adversity before, and it's just another form of adversity and something that I feel I can get through.
Who really instilled that self-confidence and belief in you?
A lot of it is my parents and my family. The things that they taught me growing up, just not to shy away from competition. All the sports I played, I've been through injuries and all that stuff, and it's not something, I feel like nothing has ever put me down to a point where I can't come back from. And I proved it to myself that I can come back from anything. So this is just another thing I can come back from and hopefully get to that next step.
And you changed numbers, I see, recently. Why the change of numbers?
That's just my high school number. I've been through that adversity piece of my life. I've been through the worst adversity that I've had in that number 10, and I've also experienced some really great times in that number 10. That's just something that I want to continue to grow with that number on, and it just feels natural and feels good when I have it on.
Coach Tucker said that the quarterback must be the toughest person on the field at all times and the most competitive. What ways have you found yourself not only embracing the competition between your teammates, but also kind of embracing that statement as well?
It brings the best out of me, I feel like, and it brings the best out of everybody in the QB room. The coaches want a competitor at the highest of levels, and that starts here in practice, and that starts day 1 of fall camp back in January, really. Just getting your mind right to know that everything you do from the season, from August 1st till January, everything's going to be a battle, and you got to earn your spot every day in practice. Just when the first game happens, that doesn't mean it's the end to the competition or anything like that. It's just the beginning, and so I feel like that's just the competitor's way to look at things, and hopefully everybody else has that same mindset.
And one thing I wanted to ask you about your tattoos. I feel like you don't normally see a quarterback with a full sleeve. When did you start getting tattoos? What kind of inspired some of them? I know a lot of them are very religious.
COVID was my first tattoo, and I got it. It was a quote, "Beauty in the struggle," and that's just been my quote that's got me through a lot of stuff, and it's just something that I hold deeply to me. And then I am a Christian, so I just wanted a couple. I got a cross tattoo and all that stuff, and yeah, it was just something I just wanted everything to flow together, and just a religious piece on my arm. And I don't know, my mom wasn't happy about it, but.
I really like that quote, beauty in the struggle. Do you feel like that's really kind of applied to your life, not only at the point when you got it, but even now with all of this quarterback battle and all of that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's quarterback battle, what everyone says it is, and at the end of the day, it's making me better. It's making everybody in the QB room better. And so there's light within everything. I feel like, every piece of adversity that everyone goes through, it's for a reason. And, I believe that, God is giving that test to you for a reason and stuff like that. And so, there's beauty in the struggle, basically.
In order to build a better connection with the receivers, Kim invited Trey Mosley and Montori Foster Jr. to his hometown in Virginia to train for a few weeks before coming back to East Lansing to begin fall camp on August 3rd. You could consider it his way of trying to get a leg up on Katin Hauser, who is also vying for the starting gig. We sit down with him when the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show returns.
They say you shouldn't. You wouldn't dare. They say you're not strong enough. Don't have the drive, lack the inspiration. The world is full of people who will tell you what you can't do. Just say 2 words, I will. There are no small dreams. Begin with an idea. Start now. Dream big with MSU FCU, federally insured by NCUA.
As we go to break, Farm Bureau Insurance invites you to register to win an exclusive private dinner with head coach Tom Izzo. Go to InsideTheGreensweeps.com to register.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Once redshirt freshman Katin Hauser found out Peyton Thorne was transferring. He said he was initially in shock, but then his mindset quickly shifted to the opportunity he was now going to have in front of him. Our Tyler Driesinga took a trip down memory lane with Hauser, and his upbringing has prepared him to be a Big Ten quarterback.
Ever since he was a little kid, football has been at the center of Katin Hauser's life. And ever since middle school, the quarterback position has been his main focus.
Well, I started off really young, just kind of playing every position. You go running back, you can play both sides. I was kind of both sides, playing quarterback and also like linebacker or something on defense too. But I kind of really stuck with quarterback around like middle school. I felt like this is what I really wanted to do, and I pursued it. It's worked out so far.
Hauser's talent and dedication to the position helped him earn all sorts of accolades and develop into a Division I recruit in high school. As a sophomore, he was part of a state championship team at Liberty High School in Nevada. But a big move between his sophomore and junior year helped raise his profile as a recruit.
I wanted to change schools. My mom and our work with this COVID, everything, we had to find a place to move. So we made the move to California. I was trying to look for a bunch of different schools, and I settled on St. John Bosco.
St. John Bosco is one of the most high-profile high school football programs in the entire country. To give you an idea of the type of talent the Braves consistently feature and develop, just know Hauser was one of 11 St. John Bosco players in his class who signed to play Division I football.
What is it that makes St. John Bosco special and different from other programs?
Definitely the culture. I feel like we take football very seriously there. We know it's a process, and it's a blessing to play football, so all the coaching staff and all the staff around the football team is really helpful just to develop us into D1 athletes.
Hauser developed into one of the top recruits in California. He was ranked as a top 10 recruit in the state by Rivals.com and originally committed to Boise State before Mel Tucker and company convinced him to become a Spartan.
What was it about the Spartan program that sold you on coming here?
It was just the atmosphere. I felt like taking a tour of campus and seeing the stadium and seeing all parts of campus, I felt like it was a place for me, and it was almost like a second home. So it just felt like home to me, and once I understood that and once I saw that, I made the decision to come here.
But St. John Bosco didn't just help Hauser get to Division I football. In some ways, it's helping him navigate the quarterback competition he finds himself in this fall. When Hauser was a junior at St. John Bosco, he split time with a senior named Pierce Clarkson, another Division I recruit who now plays at Louisville.
Did that experience of competing with and against Pierce kind of help you at all with the competition this fall?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've been through it before. Just understanding you have to go in every practice, give it your best, compete is something I'm kind of used to, so it's really no change for me.
A 4-star quarterback with a St. John Bosco pedigree, Hauser was one of the key pieces of Mel Tucker's 2022 recruiting class. But even with his impressive background and preparation for the D1 level, there were still things Hauser had to adjust to when his freshman year began.
I feel like the biggest thing is the scheduling. If you're a D1 athlete, there's definitely a lot of things to schedule. Trying to manage school, trying to manage sports. You're always in here, meetings, all that kind of stuff is tough to manage, and I felt like it kind of took me a little bit to get used to the scheduling. I feel like the biggest lesson I learned is just to kind of take everything day by day. Don't really look too much in the future, to kind of focus on what you have to do today. And our mentality is play the play. Just kind of focus on what's in front of you, be where your feet are.
And those are all good things to remember during a quarterback competition. How sick are you of being asked about the quarterback competition?
It's getting a little old now, if I'm being honest, but I'm kind of just trying to focus on what I can do today to get better.
The questions may be getting old, but Hauser understands why they're being asked. The competition between him, Noah Kim, and Sam Levitt has been the talk of fall camp, even if they don't talk about it much themselves.
We're not really diving too much into like, oh, we're in a competition. We're kind of just going out and playing every day. I've said this before, but I feel like our mentality is to play our defense right now in fall camp. We're focusing on beating our defense, so that's the goal for us. We're not trying to compete against one another, per se.
The questions will continue right up to kickoff on September 1st. But for all the unknowns surrounding MSU's quarterback situation this fall, one thing is certain. Katin Hauser has prepared his whole life to be a Division I quarterback. Now he waits for the chance to turn pedigree into playmaking.
Confidence has been key for Hauser this fall, and he says whenever his chance may come, Spartan fans can expect a smart quarterback with a big arm who can make any throw. It's a wide receiver's dream, and when we come back, we're going to go one-on-one with a player who is expecting to be the anchor of this position group in 2023.
This segment is sponsored by Shupan. This segment is sponsored by MSU Healthcare.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
With Jaden Reed getting selected in the second round of this year's draft by the Green Bay Packers and Keon Coleman transferring to Florida State, MSU is looking to replace its top two receivers from last season. Redshirt senior Trey Mosley is definitely the guy who is in the running to do this after playing 35 games in his career so far with the Spartans. The Pontiac native was a part of Mark D'Antonio's final year here in East Lansing in 2019 and shared with our Ian Kress why he is ready for this moment.
All right, Trey Mosley, aka Mr. Reliable.
Down the middle, pass caught, touchdown Spartans. That was Trey Mosley. 17 in green and white, now getting it done to the end zone. Caught, Trey Mosley, touchdown, Michigan State.
What do you like about that nickname?
I love it. You know, it just shows that the MSU fan base, you know, they appreciate what I bring to the table and on the field, and I'm thankful for it.
It's caught by Mosley, touchdown Michigan State. Great football.
For you now, your redshirt senior season, does it feel like it's just kind of flown by for you?
It has, you know, I've seen the ups and downs. I've been through it all with COVID and everything. You know, it's been a great time, and I'm thankful for everything about it.
And with the wide receiver room, you are obviously the, quote, unk. Is that what they're calling you, right?
Yeah, that's what all the young guys call me. It's hilarious because I'm only 21, you know. I turn 22 next month, but they're all 17, 18, 19, so it's like I'm the old man.
So are you officially the oldest one in the room?
My Tory is older than me by a few months. I think I'm like the third or fourth oldest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I've been here the longest.
Well, for you then, with the experience you've had with other receivers that have come through this program, you know, Darryl Stewart, Cody White, Jalen Naylor, Jaden Reed, what have you taken from them that has really helped you now as you get ready for this season?
Just the way they prepare themselves for the season, you know, in terms of getting their bodies together, mentally, just focusing and studying their opponents so that they're ready when the season comes about. You know, all four of those guys that you mentioned are great players here, and I'm still in contact with those guys till today. You know, we have great relationships on and off the field.
Is there one in particular that you really learned the most from?
So when I was a freshman, you know, coming in with Cody and Darryl, they were like my big brothers for me. You know, I met them throughout the recruiting process, and then me and Cody kind of grew up in the same area as well. So those two were the ones I looked up to when I first got here, and then over the years, my relationship with Jaden and Jalen grew even stronger.
This year now, as you are expected maybe to have a bigger role, be sort of the guy in the receiver room, just what brings you most excitement knowing that you have that opportunity in front of you now?
I'm just looking forward to it. You know, as a competitor, you always want to have opportunity to push yourself and challenge yourself against the best in the country. And I have the opportunity now, so it's up to me to decide, along with my teammates, how good we're going to be.
Yeah, with number 17, a lot of guys like to change their numbers throughout their career. You've stuck with that since you came in. Is there any significance to number 17?
Just want Sean trying to be consistent, you know, coming in and not switching my numbers just so that myself, my family, my friends, they know to recognize that's me. You know, 17 is my number. I came in with that number, and I'm going to finish with that number.
Right here, he goes up and suns two of those dogs. Woo! What a catch by Trey Mosley.
People look at Trey. What is something maybe they wouldn't know about you that you would like to share?
Just the person I am off the field. You know, people know me from the things I see on TV, but off the field, I try to be the best teammate I can possibly. You know, I like to have conversations with all my teammates, whether you're a starter, a walk-on who just got here last week, or whatever the case may be, from the portal. You know, I try to have great relationships with everybody because I feel like I'm that person where everyone can come to me, you know, whether it be good or bad. We can just have a normal conversation.
Any fun hobbies you like to do outside of football?
Oh yeah, video games. I'm big into shoes. You know, I love my shoes. That's like my biggest off the field thing. I really pride my shoe collection and things like that. Bowling, top golf, you know, things like that.
Okay, you're a good bowler?
I think I'm decent.
Yeah, okay. What's the highest you ever gotten? Perfect game ever?
No, I wish. I think the best, it was like a 215 or a 218, something like that. As an athlete, I always think about like, what is Trey Mosley outside of football? And I'm open and willing to walk towards the best path and best opportunity that presents itself when the time comes. You know, I'm willing to do whatever is going to put a smile on my face every morning when I wake up out of bed, and whatever that career path is, you know, I'm willing to do it.
Do you have that thing that puts a smile on your face every morning outside of football?
Yeah, I'm an easy, pleasing guy, I would say. You know, my dog, my family and friends, you know, those things, that's just being able to, blessed enough to get up every day is something that keeps me going.
Mel Tucker even called Mosley the face of Michigan State's offense. It is year 4 for him and his coaching staff in East Lansing. And with this being the final week of fall camp, they are making sure to apply the pressure. We sit down with Tucker when we come back.
This segment is sponsored by the Lansing Sports Commission.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
In 6 days, Michigan State's football team will begin the 2023 campaign at home against Central Michigan. And with this being Mel Tucker's 4th year in East Lansing, time truly is of the essence for him and the coaching staff, especially after finishing with a 5-7 mark last year and missing out on a bowl game. Having efficient, well-organized practices are crucial to success in his eyes. And when things don't go as planned, you can sometimes feel it across the building. He is the descendant of the Nick Saban coaching tree, so those of you who are familiar with Saban's style, this makes sense. And earlier this week, things did not go as planned at practice, which prompted our conversation. Well, welcome to a brand new season, not only for you and your staff and your team, but a brand new season for us, for the Coaches Show. Always happy to have you on to look ahead to what's to come for Michigan State this year. And one of the first things I want to touch upon is not being excited for the year, but more prepared, and where this stems from, because obviously the fans are super excited to have the season start, but you guys on the other hand are looking at it a little bit differently.
Yeah, we talk to our players about it, and the coaching staff. It's more about being prepared for the season to start, and that's an everyday thing for us. We don't want to be at the level of excitement. It's more focus and just relentless mindset and feeling supremely prepared for the moment. So really that's the word that we use in place of excitement.
What I thought was interesting too is that you equated it to a movie, going to go see a movie.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, you go to the movie, you order some popcorn, you sit there and you're excited for it to start. You know, but that's not actually performing and being at your best when your best is needed. Focus and preparation is really the key for us, and that's our mindset.
With this being year 4 for yourself and some key members of your staff, like offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Jay Johnson, offensive line coach Chris Kapilovic, and defensive coordinator Scotty Hazelton, where would you describe where the 4 of you are going into this 4th year?
Yeah, we have a high level of trust with each other. I was with Jay all the way back at Georgia. He was with me at Colorado. So was Coach Cap. He's my right-hand man. Scotty's been with us from the beginning here, and we've been through a lot together. We started off through COVID, and we had a good year a couple years ago and a down year last year, and guys are extremely loyal. They're very professional, and I trust them.
One thing that Coach Cap was mentioning too is that with this being the 4th year, he feels like consistency is starting to set in on the offensive line. Are you seeing that?
Oh yeah, big time. We have a lot of depth at the offensive line. A year ago, we were very, very thin in spring ball. A year ago, we weren't able to practice sufficiently. We only have 5 scholarship offensive linemen available. And so now we have a full group. The chemistry is a lot better. We have depth and we have competition. So I feel much better about our line right now. We should be able to run the ball. We should be able to move people. We should be physical. We should be able to win in the trenches. And so, I'm reminding those guys of that as they go through their drill work. I want them to be physical in the reps that they take. I want them to be relentless. I want them to move people. I want them to be nasty and get after it.
You mentioned that obviously with this being the final week really of fall camp before you get ready for the season opener against Central Michigan, you were hoping to see some separation, or you knew that some separation would occur after the second scrimmage you guys just had. Where did you see the separation the most?
Yeah, I would say, you know, in our front seven, you know, we have depth, we have size, and, you know, it really showed up in the scrimmage. You know, we have lots of guys on the interior of the defensive line and on the edge that can make plays. And it was a huge difference from a year ago this time. Just the depth and the ability to dominate in the run game, you know, against on a consistent basis. You know, I saw it last week in the scrimmage. I saw it again in the second scrimmage, and so I feel like you know, we really established ourselves as a stout front. You know, in camp, we just have to take it to the game.
And if you were to snap the ball right now, you know, first down against Central Michigan, what would you be the most confident in?
Yeah, I would be most confident in our ability to sustain physicality and play hard. We're in great condition at every position. Guys are lean, they're mean. We start practice fast, we finish strong. So I feel like no matter what the situation is, first quarter, fourth quarter, we'll be able to finish down the stretch and play hard-nosed physical football for 60 minutes, 4 quarters in the game.
All right, well, have fun wrapping up fall camp as you get ready for the opener, and always appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Go Green.
Tucker is well aware of the intrigue surrounding the quarterback battle because he knows it's one of the positions that will determine whether or not Michigan State has a successful season. So all the Spartan fans out there who are anxiously awaiting to see who it's going to be, you only have a couple more days in front of you. As always, we hope you have a happy and healthy weekend. We'll see you next week.
This segment is sponsored by Spartan Dogs for Life.